All right, guys. So in this one, we're going to be going over the ROAS calculator. So before we start optimizing any campaigns, we need to understand what our break-even ROAS is for that individual product. Not necessarily every single variant. So let's say if you have a sweater that's also in a black color, in a blue color, in a white color, you don't need to do the ROAS calculator for each individual color. It's just for if you have sweaters and if you have jackets and if you have jeans, you want to do the ROAS calculator for each of those. That way you can understand what your break-even ROAS is, because your break-even ROAS is going to change from jackets to sweaters. The cost is going to be a lot more on jackets than sweaters. So over here we have our average order value, our cost of goods, our payment processing, shipping costs, fulfillment costs per unit, and then any additional discounts that you might have. And when you input all this data in, it's going to spit out a number for you, your break-even ROAS. And this is what you need to keep an eye out for in your ads manager, is your break-even ROAS. Because that tells you, all right, if I'm below this, I'm not profitable. If I'm above this, I'm basically, you can pause any ads that are performing below this break-even ROAS. All right, so in Shopify, I'm inside a demo account. The average order value that it puts in here is going to be your total from all your product categories. So you don't want that. You want the average order value for each individual product category. So let's say for your sweaters, so how do you calculate your average order value? You're basically going to take the total revenue for that product category. So let's just say we have sweaters, and our total revenue for that product, let's just say year to date, is 30,000. And we have sold 300 units year to date. All right, so this is out of the whole year. You can do it as much as you want. Like you can do it all the way like 2 years back, 3 years back. It's just the total revenue of that product category. And then divide it by the number of units you have sold. And it's going to give you a number. So 100. So $100 is your average order value. Next on, we move on to our cost of goods. What does it cost you to get your product from, let's say, from your manufacturer? What does it cost? So if it's $5, you want to put $5 in here. This is just the cost of goods. Everything that it costs for your product to either come to the United States or whatever country you might be at, but what does it cost for you to get that product? Then we have payment processing fee. You can leave this at 0.85. Shopify charges anywhere from 2.5% all the way to, I believe, 2.9, depending on where that payment was processed. But 0.85 is a good in between. So just leave this box the way it is. Your shipping cost. This is what does it cost for you to ship that product to your customer. So let's just say it cost us $4. Now, fulfillment cost per unit is what does it cost you to fulfill each individual unit? That's like bubble wrap, boxes, or whatever it may be, just to get it to a ship-ready state. Let's just say it's $3, boxes and bubble wraps. Discount off per dollar. This one, you shouldn't have to worry about that unless I can't even think of a reason for this one. And the reason why you shouldn't have to worry about discount off per dollar or discount off percentage wise is because you're already getting the total revenue of the product. The total revenue is not, let's just say you have a 5% or 10% off on your site. Let's just say you have a 10% off. Let's just say your price was For this example, let's just say your price was $110. And let's just say you had a 10% off on your site, and the scratched off price would be 110, and then your actual price would be 100. Now, the total revenue is going to take the 100. It's not going to take the actual retail price. It's going to take the actual price that's on your site. So whether it's $90 or $100 for this example, it's going to take the actual price. So that's going to be your total revenue. So you shouldn't have to worry about discount off percentage wise or number wise. So you shouldn't have to worry about those. Now, what it's going to spit out for you is it's going to tell you your break-even ROAS. So this is the number that we want to be at, 1.15. That's our break-even ROAS. If any of our ads are performing below this number, then we have some issues. If any of our ads are performing above that number, then we can start to scale those ads. But this just gives you an idea of what your break-even ROAS is, because you need to understand that and either to have your marketing dialed in. That way, when it comes to optimization, you know which ads to churn off and which ads to keep on. All right, so go ahead, run this for your product, figure out what your average order value is, your cost of goods, your payment processing, and your shipping costs and your fulfillment costs per unit based on how I've discussed. And once you have your break-even ROAS for your product, then we can start to optimize your campaign so that when you're creating campaigns, you know what to optimize for. All right, I'm going to leave a link in the description for this ROAS calculator so that way you can just go ahead and plug in the numbers. It's super easy. It can tell you break-even ROAS, your basically total cost of your product and fulfillment, and your net profit and your profit percentage to tell you if this product is actually in a healthy percentage. All right, that's it for this lesson, and I'll see you in the next one.